Hi everyone. Hi Catherine. Good morning. Didn't promise a sunrise, did I? But how good is this? I've decided to go on a few minutes early because I just wanted to treat you to this amazing sky. Look at it. I can see that there's 6 people on, so give me a wave or say hi or a thumbs up. Let me know who's here. Let me know if you can hear me okay as well. Yeah, I can see Catherine. Good morning, Catherine. Let's have a look around here at this gorgeous spot. So we're going to be starting in about 5 minutes from now. And we will actually be walking into a forest. But first of all, oh, look, we've got company. And I'm just going to pause this for a moment because I forgot to turn focus on. So bear with me for a second while I just switch over and turn my focus on. Bear with me. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop and restart. Alright, so if everything's gone well, I should have you all back again now. I can see Catherine saying hi to Lethargy. I can see that there are 5 people on. Give me a thumbs up and a wave, everybody. Just let me know that you're here. Just want to show you this gorgeous sky before we start. We've got more company. Let's have a look at who else is here. I think we've got oh no, that's a dog. This is right where I saw some dolphins the other day. Hi Poppy, good morning. Lovely to see you. Here we go. Good morning, mate. He's a chubby one, isn't he? All right, so one last look at this gorgeous sky before we head off into the forest. Hi Joanne, lovely to see you. Good morning. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to have to do a sunrise tour here. Let me just zoom in on. That's over there is Tamari Headland. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so let's head off in towards the forest where we're going to be doing our walk. Seems like a shame to turn our back on a beautiful sunrise like that, doesn't it? Should we stay just a few minutes longer and wait and see if a few more people turn up? I'm tempted. How can you turn your back on that? And listen to the rainbow lorikeets above me. We're going to hear plenty more of those guys. All right, I really am going to turn my back on it now, because we are here for forest bathing. So let's head up towards the start of the track. And we're in my new neighbourhood. So we're in Nelson Bay and this is Bagnall Beach. We've got lots of bird activity this morning. I don't know if you can see that red flower just in the fork of that tree there. There's 2 rainbow lorikeets sitting on top of it. There we go, they've just sort of flown off. So Nelson Bay, for those who haven't joined me before. Hi Dawn, lovely to see you this morning. Those who haven't joined me as yet in my new area, Nelson Bay is about 2.5 hours north of Sydney. And it's in an area called Port Stephens. So we're literally going to be walking along a little corridor between this residential area and the waterfront just behind me. So we're heading off over here. Now I've discovered so far 4 trails that are absolutely perfect for forest bathing, so expect plenty more of these kinds of tours over the coming weeks. I'm actually going to be living here, house sitting, for the next 4 months, so up right through to the end of November. Alright, so I'll turn the camera around. We'll hit the start of the track here and say hi to you all. We're going to head off down this trail here. Hi Michaela, good morning. Alright, so let's turn the camera around. So good morning everybody. Hi to anyone who I haven't met before. Julie, I will explain before we start what forest bathing is. So before we begin, what I'd like to do is acknowledge that we're meeting today on the traditional land of the Worimi people and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Okay, so for Julie's benefit and for anybody else who hasn't done forest bathing with me before, it is a form of mindfulness, if you like. It's not meditation, and I certainly don't profess to be any kind of a therapist of any sort. Michaela's saying, oh, okay, good. You can relax now. Yes, I had my first experience of that this morning as well, since this house sit involves cat minding. All right, so forest bathing is where I actually invite you to experience what I'm experiencing. The whole point of forest bathing is that we slow down and we immerse ourselves in our surroundings. We all know that getting close to nature is healthy and beneficial. Forest bathing came about as a pushback or as an answer to the highly technical or tech-focused, tech-heavy culture of Japan in the 1970s. It's actually called Shinrin Yoku. And more countries are becoming aware of the actual benefits of this more formal type of getting out into nature. So what I will invite you to do is I will speak in the first person. I will describe what I'm experiencing, what I'm feeling, what I see, what I smell, what I hear, and invite you to imagine that you are experiencing those same sensations. So it might seem a little weird at first, but try and go with it. And I understand totally if for some of you it's just not right for you. All right, so let's begin. We're going to go for about 30 minutes and then I'll finish up, and for the duration of it, I won't respond to the chat. So ask me questions if you like, and I'll try and remember to come back to them at the end. All right, so does that sound great for everybody? I'm going to begin. So I'm seeing the very soft and gentle light. It's early morning. The sun, because of the cloud and the filter, is just very gentle. I'm aware of the sounds of the birds. There's many birds surrounding me. I can hear their calls, their early morning calls. As I walk, I can feel the unevenness of the ground. Stones, small twigs. I can feel through the soles of my shoes. And as we venture in further along the track, it becomes a little darker. I become aware of insects. There's just the very slight buzzing sounds of insects. I pause to look more closely at the texture and shape of the fern leaves at the side of the track. And as I walk on, I hear the sound of a different bird, a new presence. There are traffic sounds in the distance. I try not to focus on those and draw my mind back to the birds. The colour of the forest is a mixture of green and brown. There's no wind, it's perfectly still. I'm drawn towards this tree. I want to look more closely at the texture, the shape and colour. And feel the texture, smooth and cool. I'm aware of people walking along the path, so I move aside and let them pass. I take joy in seeing the two dogs greet each other. And looking more closely at the ground, I can see the leaves. The different colours. Yellows scattered amongst the brown. I stopped to look at the dead fern leaves, creating a different texture against the green ones, the live ones beside them. Crunching as I step on the branches and the bracken. And then over behind the bush, the soft colours of the early morning sky. The path is a soft carpet, spongy against my feet. A popular path for dog walkers. I remember to look up. The forest occurs all around, but also above. As the trees reach towards the sky, providing a soft, gentle canopy over my head. I'm reminded that rain is on its way. The small creatures have built a protection against the oncoming rain. Ants building up their nests. A sure indication that we can expect rain. I remember to breathe. I focus on my breathing while observing the shapes, the different shapes of the branches of the trees. Another bird call, a different one this time. And a different tree, completely opposite, contrasting to the smooth, cool that I paused to feel the texture of earlier. This one's rough. Occasionally a tree root crosses the path, a reminder to slow down. I see vines, creepers, forming a relationship with this tree. The tree goes onward. Different bird calls appear. Different shapes form. I stop to take in the side of yet another tree. This one's even more beautiful. As we reach a point in the path where new sounds emerge, the sound of water, waves lapping against the shore. I'm drawn. As the magpies call. The sound of the water invites me, as does the glow of the sunrise on the surface of the water. So I take the opportunity to venture down to the water's edge. And pause to listen, just listen. I'm tempted to linger. I smell the salt from the salt water. And I remember that the path awaits, and we continue. The soft sand slows my progress. I want to see what's making that noise. But they blend into the bark of the tree and are difficult to see. A kookaburra has emerged. I hear him faintly in the distance. I notice a flower, a delicate pale yellow flower, and stop to look closely. With the sounds of the cockatoos above me, we return to the forest, where it's darker, cooler, and feel a sense of being enveloped. Listening to the birds. I notice a curious object on the side of a tree. For birds or wildlife, I'm not sure. Another flower appears. This one I want to get very close to and take in its beauty. And yet another catches my eye. I must leave the path to see it. A different bark again, completely different. Once again rough. And the bark of the banksia, all knobbled, twisted and tortured. I follow its line upwards, seeking new flowers, only discovering the last year's seeds. I wonder what made this tree grow in such a wiggly, twisted shape rather than following a straight line. What caused it to grow like that? A gap in the forest reveals the water Again, inviting, but I resist the temptation. I stop to look at a tree that's fallen, giving life back to the forest. As its memory disappears, it provides nutrients to the new trees that are growing around it. That red flower again, this time in a place easier to get to, easier to see. It's darker now. And all of a sudden its understory is dominated by ferns. I hear cockatoos. And more evidence that rain is soon to take place, not spoil our day, because with rain comes life. I stop to look at another tree, this time with its branch just reaching out, as if it's wanting to connect with the others. Grasses now, tall grasses. A reminder that when you go one way, life is easy. Go the reverse. Feel the sharp barbs against the leaves, willing to cut you. Handle with care. I spot a palm in amongst the undergrowth, its fronds reaching out in different directions. It affords the opportunity for light to shine through. I notice a tree with a large scar down one side. I can only wonder at how that scar appeared, how it occurred, what caused it. And once again, a completely different texture on the bark of this tree. Half dead, half still living. Large ferns, large tree ferns. I'm aware of people approaching. Kookaburra. So faint, barely audible. I listen to the crunching of the gravel under my shoes. And reached the point where I'm going to end the bathing part of the tour. So there we go. This was our first forest bathing in Nelson Bay, and we have 3 black swans out there on the water. Let me zoom in for you. They are so pretty. Michaela, you grew up next to a huge forest. Well, I hope they were pleasant memories for you. Completely different kind of forest, I'm sure. Hi, Robin. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Inga. Hi, Mary Lou, Judith, Shamika. Hi, everybody. All right, so what did you think? It was fairly uneventful, that trail. Apart from the birds, there was lots of birds. Look at those swans, aren't they beautiful? I have at least 3 more trails that I've already identified. One I tested and had 3 or 4. Lethargy was one of them. She was there for the test that I did the other day. And that's a really beautiful trail, so I'm really looking forward to taking you there. But it's more about the delivery of how I'm translating my experience to you. So let me know, did you feel that it was useful in any way? I mean, I'm still learning. But look at that sky, isn't that amazing? Isn't that gorgeous? And 3 black swans. It's not really the sea. It's an inlet. Where that big headland is over there is where it opens out to the ocean. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Robin. All right. So how about we just walk a little longer, and this time without the forest bathing aspect, and just sort of walk. I can walk along the trail or along the beach. I'm not sure which way Richard went. He was on ahead of me. He was one of the people we saw on the path. Oh, there he is. Looks like someone's lost I don't know what that is, a tent or a kite or something up there. And we've got seaweed on the seaweed on the sand here, so you can see where the high tide mark is. Yeah, we saw them. Richard's out here seeing if he can see any dolphins for us, but I don't think we've seen any this morning. Oh, thanks, Stephanie. Oh, hi, Colleen. I didn't actually see you before. Thank you. So several tours that I've got in mind. I want to do another sunrise tour at a different location to where I went before. Around this area might be nice. I've managed to make contact with Whiskey. He's no longer doing virtual tours, as you probably know, but he still lives in this area, so there's a chance that we might catch up. We haven't planned anything yet, but I have made contact, so you never know. Maybe we can have a beer together out on the sand dunes or something. Who's that? I can't see who that is. Oh, you're from Brazil. Hi. Oh, we haven't met before. Stephanie says, very relaxing. Thank you, Dawn. This Whiskey and Brownie. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye out because this is kind of the close to the area where he brings Brownie. So I've been keeping an eye out in case he's here lurking somewhere and we happen to bump into him. And I'll definitely say hi from you guys when I see him next. You're very welcome, Mary Lou. Yes, and thank you for joining me this morning. Let's look back towards the beautiful sky to the east. See what's happening over there. Am I zoomed in? I feel like I must be. Yeah, there we go. Those colours are hanging around longer than I expected. Usually the colour's sort of gone by now, but maybe it's because of the cloud cover over in that direction. All right. So the person who didn't know what, was it Julie? I think it was Julie, the person who didn't know what forest bathing was. How did you find the experience? Was it useful to you? Is it something you might consider doing again? Yeah, that's true, Dawn. Should we have another look that way? And again, I'm sorry about the wonky skyline. I calibrated my gimbal this morning. I made sure everything was centered perfectly and it still looks wonky to me. So I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyway. All right, I don't know if we're going to see this. It's a bit of a dark sky, but that up there is a sea eagle or a fish eagle. I saw an amazing one hovering over where the sand dunes are the other day, quite close. Yeah, it's really just a dot in the sky, isn't it? I'm not sure what bird that is that I can hear. That wasn't a magpie, that was something else. More cockatoos, ever-present cockatoos. And I'm looking along the shoreline to see if there's anything interesting washed up amongst the seaweed. All right, well, I think we'll finish up there, guys. I'm going to turn the camera around and finish up. All right, okay. So that was our first forest bathing back in our new area. So this is the first time you've probably seen this funny thing as well. I knitted that. That's my wind muffle. That's what I use instead of one of those really sort of expensive dead cats that other people use. Thank you, Lynn. And next Saturday we'll be in Fingal Bay doing a forest bathing walk under the wattle So the wattle is just all out in bloom at the moment, and it's just beautiful. So there's like a tunnel of wattle that we'll be able to walk under. And if I'm feeling energetic that morning, at the end of the forest bathing, you might even get me to climb up a sand dune. so we'll see how that goes. The bird was pretty clear actually. Oh, thanks, Nancy. That's good. Excellent. I wasn't sure because all it looked like to me was a dot. All right, well, I'm going to finish up here, and I hope to have a sunrise tour scheduled for the middle of the week, and keep an eye out for that one. There's also going to be perhaps, still working out how to deliver it, there's a lot of street art around town. I might see if I can do a walk around town showing some sneeze in the wattle for you. Showing the street art around Nelson Bay, because it is quite lovely. All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you again very soon, as soon as I'm able. Bye for now.